Now it's
Good
official.
evening, good afternoon, everyone. Lots of Brazilians today. Can I say that Milan is Brazilian? I think he's more Brazilian than I am. He's been living in Brazil for so long and he speaks Portuguese so greatly. But still, this session, I asked him to speak English with us, and he's going to not be talking that much about Brazil, but he will be telling us a lot about his home country, Serbia. Milan, welcome here. And I hope you feel comfortable enough. And
thank you for
go ahead and
inviting
start with
me.
the questions. Eh?
Okay.
All right. Would you like to introduce yourself a little bit to us before we start with the questions, or what do you prefer?
Okay. I'm Milan Lalic. In Brazil, I'm Milan Lalic because in Brazil there is no C with accent. So my surname was somehow modified a little bit in Brazil. But I am 62 years old. I am university professor in Brazil, in Aracaju, which is a city in northeast the Brazil at the Atlantic coast. And I finished all the schools, all my education in Belgrade, in Serbia. And after this, I went to the world. I spent some 3 months in Trieste, in Italy, International Center for Theoretical Physics. Then I have had my 1-year postdoc in south of France, in Montpellier. And then went to Brazil, to Sao Paulo, where I spent 3.5 years. And then after this, I went to this city that I'm living now, Aracaju, where I'm professor at the Federal University. I'm physicist, so I have classes and doing some science also. That's it. I was 2 times married. I've been married with some Serbian woman, and then I married in Brazil 2nd time and had a son, Felipe, that I was told about. I think this is a basic.
Well, that's a very good introduction. I think got lots of people curious, me as well, but I'm just going to let Richard start with the questions, and then whoever wants to ask a question, please raise your hands and we can continue. Okay, Richard, go ahead.
Good evening, Milan. Thanks for the introduction. Just I feel a bit stupid now, with all that education.
Oh.
No, I'm teasing. Question: I interacted a lot with Serbians when on my time on the cruise ship, and Serbians, amongst all the Eastern Europeans, came across as very humble and hardworking people. I think my question is, why settle in Brazil? I know you're a man of the world, but why Brazil as your home? Was it academics, or was it just?
Well, it was just, I don't know. Well, usually people from university go to Western Europe or United States. But I had a friend that went first to United States, Washington, and then somehow he went to Brazil. And then he wrote me by emails about the situation, how the science and university is treated in Brazil. And I knew that it is that our people are well treated, you know, that the salaries are good, decent, and that we are appreciated by society. So when some offer from postdoc from Sao Paulo came to my email box, I responded yes. And then I went from France to Sao Paulo. But without this, my friend that is also professor, but in Recife, in Brazil, probably I would not go. I didn't know much about Brazil before he introduced me some things by emails, and I will probably go somewhere else. But I went to Brazil, and it turned to be good decision. I didn't know a word in Portuguese because I was thinking that Brazil is, you know, near the United States and that everybody knows English. But it was not true. At the university, people speaks, of course, English, but in the street, ordinary people, nothing, none. So I was pretty much lost the first 2-3 months until I learned some basic Portuguese and start dating with my future wife there, Susanna. But it was accidentally, really, to go to Brazil because it was unknown. It is unknown. Brazil is unknown for our scientists, really.
Fantastic. Thanks. Yeah.
Yeah, but it is good. Okay. Depending on the government and on the time, there are better time than now, but it is still okay. I can live very good, very comfortably. I can do my science. I can travel to conferences, present my work. It's enough.
Milan, where did you meet your wife?
In Sao Paulo, she was postdoc. No, she was doing her PhD at USP, and I was doing my postdoc at IPEN, Institute of Nuclear Sciences inside the USP. But Brazilian, you know, my colleagues, as soon as I appeared there, they start to invite me to go out with them, to go to movies, to watch some movies, to get some drinks, and then I got to know a lot of people, Susanna also, and it was this. She's also physicist like me, but she's working in another area. It's a medical physics.
How old
something like
were you when you came to Brazil?
I was 38.
38.
Okay. So
Yeah.
you've been there for 24 years now.
24 years, yeah.
Yeah.
And Milan, how many languages do you speak?
Well, officially 3 languages, my Serbian, Portuguese, and English, but I speak also Croatian language, Bosnian language, Macedonian language,
A lot.
because it is the same language of the former
Yes.
Yugoslavia, you know.
Yes, Milan, sorry
But-
to interrupt, but that was my question, as a matter of fact, because the way Richard was mentioning, we met working on the ship, and there were lots of Serbians, Croatians, and the ex-Scandinavian Yugoslavian countries. Can you tell us more about that? And I remember that they all could understand Russian. Like, is it the same a little bit? Can you compare like Portuguese and Spanish when it comes to the languages? Or, yeah, is that a group? Like, just when you mentioned Croatia, Macedonia, Serbia, Bosnia, they have the same group, right, of language. But is that Russian or is it a little bit different?
No, it is pretty much different.
Oh.
We really do not understand Russian. I cannot speak Russian. It is different. I was learning Russian in elementary school. I was obliged to, because this was a socialist regime at the time, and just one of the 3 classes had English as a language. The rest were learning Russian. So it's pretty different, you know. For example, this group of languages of former Yugoslavia is more similar to Bulgarian or Slovakian.
Okay.
But Russian not. I can still understand. I can read Russian because my education was from Russian books, because they were these books from physics They were much cheaper than English books. So I can still read the Russian and can understand if they speak slowly. But I cannot speak anymore because I lost my Russian, because I didn't apply it. Simply didn't have anybody to talk to, But it is different. Also, in former Yugoslavia, Macedonian language is a little bit different, but in Bosnia, in Serbia, in Croatia, it's the same language. Slight differences in accents or something like this. And Slovenian language is pretty different. It is not understandable for us. This former Yugoslavia consisted of 6 republics that are all independent countries now. It's Slovenia, Croatia, Bosnia, Serbia, Montenegro, and Macedonia. They were
I
split.
didn't know that Slovenia had another language, because I
Yeah,
thought
yeah.
all had the same.
They have.
Is Slovenia closer to Italian then, or?
No. All these languages have Slavs origin. There are 3 big languages in Europe, Slavs origin, German origin, and I would say Latin origin,
Yeah.
So all these languages are Slavs languages. It's much different from Italian. It is
So
Slovenian
is like Hungarian. You cannot compare to anything else.
No. Slovenian is a Slavic language, and it is similar to language of Republic of Czech republics, for example.
Yeah.
But Hungarian is really language that doesn't have
Cannot compare to anything else, right?
European origin, because it has they originated from Mongols, Genghis Khan, that invaded Europe, and then they were divided in 2 groups. One was settled in Hungary, and one in Finland. So Finland and Hungary have similar languages that do not have European origin.
Okay.
Nobody understands them. Hungarian is very complicated, really.
Yes.
Really.
Okay, thank you. Renato, you have a question? Oh, we cannot hear you.
I think that he is ahead of me.
What do you mean?
Oh no, Renato, go for it. I'll go after you. Don't worry.
Okay, Milan. Nice to meet you.
Likewise.
Do you see common characteristics, the same features of Serbian and Brazilian people? What do you mean about these? What are the common characteristics of Serbian people, and Brazilian people? What are the good sides and the bad side of these characteristics?
Okay, it's a difficult question, because all the people are basically the same. They have the same needs, the same wishes, but there are some small differences. I think that like I said, from Serbia, I went firstly to south of France, where the people are very closed and very reserved. I would say even cold, and I could not establish much connections with them, except this at the work, professional. But when I came to Brazil, it was completely different, because Brazilian people are more similar to Serbian people than French people, for example. It is my opinion, maybe not true, but Serbians, like Brazilians, are open and communicative. Really, they like to be connected, socially connected, to socialize, and this is the main characteristic that is common to Brazilian and Serbian. Maybe other that are not much organized, you know. Serbian people are much more successful outside of Serbia than inside. We cannot organize our country to be prosperous. And I see this similarity with Brazil also, you know.
Yeah. Do you have news about if Serbia is suffering some kind of effect because the conflict between Russia and Ukraine? Yeah.
Yeah, we suffer some indirect consequences. Ukraine is relatively near. Southern Ukraine is just a part of from Romania. There is Serbia, Romania, and then Ukraine. But the Serbia is a unique country in Europe that did not impose sanction to Russia, and the majority of people are really like Russians and support Russia in this conflict. And because of that, European community imposed some limitations, sanctions, you know. So that's why I'm telling that this is some indirect consequences. Thank God there is no war here, and we don't feel anything like war, you know, but more political, economical consequences.
Yeah. Okay, thanks.
Welcome.
Okay, Richard, go ahead.
Thanks, Milan. Thanks for that. Milan, yeah, I'm quite interested to know about your childhood, growing up in Serbia, and then what led to you becoming a physicist and aspiring to follow the career you followed. I'm really interested to know that.
Well, my childhood, I spent childhood in socialist regime. I remember still Tito that died 1980. And it was socialist regime that fell apart like other socialist regimes in the world because it was not productive. But it was, you know, there were no democracy, but in this period I was not interested in politics. But ordinary people lived very, very good, you know. There were excellent education, free, health protection was free, also excellent, and it was very safe country. There were no criminal. Salaries were not very good, but there were not that social differences like today, you know. Maybe, let's say, director of some company, all companies were of government, you know, director had maybe 3 times more than the cleaning lady. There were no such differences. Yeah, and about the physics, I don't know. I always loved mathematics and physics, you know, and from people from poor countries, not developed countries like Serbia, they have chance to go out and to, you know, to develop your potential if they are good scientists, theoretical ones, or sportists. So we have excellent sport and also scientists that are really, you can find Serbian scientists all over the world, in the best universities and something like this. And this is just came from childhood. Mathematics and physics, I was talented for this, you know. and it was very natural to study physics, and then I went to master and PhD. But I needed to go out from my country because of economic reasons. I was doing my master and PhD in the 19th of the last century, between 1990 and 1999. And this was the toughest period for Serbia and Yugoslavia. There were wars in Balkans in Bosnia, in Croatia. We were under sanction of United Nations, Serbia, and it was a very difficult period. And at the end, we were bombarded by NATO for 3 months in 1999 because of Kosovo. And they destroyed all the infrastructure, and I didn't see any perspective to stay there, and I simply needed to go out. Yeah.
Thanks,
Very
Milan.
interesting. Yeah, very interesting. Before Philippe asks question, Milan, do you like teach at university or you just do research?
I like both, but
Okay.
maybe I'm more talented of teaching. Although
In Portuguese now at the moment.
yeah, in Portuguese, I'm teaching in Portuguese, and some classes are in English in postgraduate studies.
Cool, very cool.
Sometimes I give classes in English, but usually in Portuguese. On the graduation, just in Portuguese, of course.
Muito bem. Okay.
Obrigado.
Philippe, please go ahead. Yes.
Yeah, Milan, I'm taking you back to the beginning of your presentation. I have a question because what can I say? When I went to secondary school, I did my secondary school. I was born in Africa. But I moved to France with my parents. I did my secondary school in French and then university. And I had a lot of friends, colleagues from Croatia and Serbia. I remember we had, every time we had an exam, we always had a language of choice. We call this optional. And if someone speaks Portuguese, like I do, I would take an exam in Portuguese, it would add points to me. If someone speaks Serb or Croatian, it would do it. Now that you speak Portuguese, taking you back, if you compare the Portuguese to Spanish, and you compare the two languages, because my understanding is Serb and Croat were the same language, they put in the same basket. Would the difference between Spanish and Portuguese be bigger than the difference between Serbian and Croatian?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, it is bigger difference.
The Spanish and Portuguese.
Yes.
That's what I thought. Okay.
Because they cannot understand Spanish if they speak. They usually speak very rapidly, very. If they speak slowly, I can understand. I can read.
Yeah.
Spanish, okay. Maybe, most of the text, but I don't see that they are so similar,
Okay, that's
Serbian and Croatian are the same language.
The same language, that's what I thought. Okay.
Croatian deliberately changed some expressions in some words to be different from Serbian, okay. But not too much, not too much. Accent is different, just the pronunciation of some words, but it is essentially the same language.
Yeah, okay. In the second question is more a statement. I work in presenting a product, marketing. Doing technical product presentation. So I used to travel all around France, north, south, all these cities. And I'm so sorry you didn't like Montpellier, because Montpellier is one of my favorite cities in France. So sorry.
Okay, there are two universities there in Montpellier. Montpellier is a city of students, young people.
Yeah.
Maybe I had a wrong impression because I was in big depression. Leaving Serbia, I was also leaving my first wife, Serbian wife, that she went to Mexico to work. So I was really down.
Okay.
And I was really spending a lot of time, most of time on work, you know.
Mhm.
So I was socializing with the people in the work at
Mhm.
this. It was a chemistry department, theoretical chemistry department, and they were somehow cold,
Yeah.
you know, and reserved. Maybe because I arrived from these Balkans where
No,
there were
no,
wars
you're right.
one year before, you know. Maybe they were scared or something like this. I don't know, really.
Yeah,
But
you're
I
right.
visited also several times Paris, and
Yes.
Paris I had different feelings about the people, you know, different impression.
Yeah.
I had the impression that the people are more open, and okay, there are a lot of strangers there, not just French.
Yeah.
Maybe just wrong impression.
Maybe not. But if I compare what you said about Brazil, about the people, because I went to Brazil in well, oh my gosh, it was 20 years ago. I went to south of Brazil, Curitiba, and what I found between, if I have to compare Brazil, where I live in Africa, Europe, and here in Canada, I found people in Brazil, in South America, they're way closer than what we have here. After a week there, I met people that were even inviting me. In Canada, if I have to compare, even after a year or two, I don't know the names of my neighbor. So what you're saying is completely true. I felt it too when I went there. Yeah. So sorry. Next question. I'll give someone else. Thank you.
Okay, Edenilson.
Okay, Milan, I have two questions. First one, which city did you live when you live in Serbia? And I would like to share. And also after that, I'm gonna share also the Aracaju. So I'm gonna share the map so you can say we can
Okay.
see the city. Okay.
Okay, I was born and spent my childhood in Zrenjanin. It is a small city, 60,000
You're
population.
gonna have to spell that. You're gonna have to spell it. I didn't understand.
Zrenjanin. It is 70 kilometers north of Belgrade. Belgrade is a
How do you
capital.
write down? How? Milan?
Yeah. North of Belgrade, but you, okay, I can see.
But
No.
I cannot understand these writings. By the way, Milan,
Go north. Go north.
How many writing systems do you have in Serbia? Like there is a Latin alphabet, or does this Cyrillic alphabet? I cannot understand.
Both. Our student teaches both language, both letters, Cyrillic and
Oh,
Latin.
I think I see it. It's a little bit north. The
North.
highway 130.
Okay, 130, 130.
Yeah,
Okay.
go north.
More.
Is
More.
no? Okay, south. Sorry.
More. And there is Zrenjanin, okay? On the left there. Zrenjanin.
Oh my God.
Zrenjanin.
And you know, the name is, okay, on the map is given on Latin and on Cyrillic also. Okay, it is an old town.
You use lots of Z for many words.
Yeah,
Is that
Z. Yeah,
yeah.
Z. We have Z. Zrenjanin. Zrenjanin is the name of some Second World War hero, some communist hero that that name is after Second World War given. But
Okay.
before this, it has different names, like Petrovgrad, Bečkerek. And there are a lot of these buildings in the style of Maria Theresia, because this part of Serbia was part of Austro-Hungarian monarchy
Oh,
for centuries. So this style of buildings, you know, this construction style is from that period.
Where is the
Okay.
predominant religion there?
Predominantly what? Sorry?
Religion.
Religion is Orthodox Christianity. Orthodox because it uses this Julian calendar from, I think, year 46 before Christ, BC. So it is much older than Gregorian calendar that is used by Catholic Church, that is established in 16th century. And there is a gap of 13 years, 13 days between these two calendars.
Oh, really?
So, for example, our Christmas is 7th of January, January 7th.
Wow, it's different.
13th,
all-
4th. Also, we celebrate two New Years. The one that whole world celebrates 1st of January, and the second is 14th of January, that is called Serbian New Year's, because of this difference of 13 days.
The difference is
know.
always at 13 days?
Sorry?
The difference is always 13
Usually,
days?
yes. Yes,
Yeah,
usually, yes.
Okay.
I don't know about Eastern.
Milan, like now I'm gonna share your current city.
Ademir, so sorry to interrupt. Can you please show us how far is his city from Belgrade? That is the capital. And Milan, before we go back to Brazil, please tell us, why did you go to Belgrade? It was just to study? Did you go alone without your family?
No, I was alone for study. I finished elementary and high school in Zrenjanin. After this, I went to army.
Oh, is
for
that
one-
something that you all boys must do when they turn 18?
At that time, it was obligatory for all.
Oh, it's just 1
Eh,
hour away. So did you go
yeah,
back on the weekends to visit your parents?
Yeah, because it is near. It's 70 kilometers.
Yeah,
You know,
okay.
1 hour by car. You know, but then I started to study, and all this university is in Belgrade. So I went there. I lived there, and studied there. Graduation, and then after graduation, I got a job really at the Nuclear Institute of Nuclear Science in Belgrade, and from there I completed my master and PhD at the University
Okay,
of
Milan,
Belgrade.
it's like back then in the 90s when you were studying, did you have to pay for a graduation and then master's and PhD? Did you get paid? Can you please explain us that?
It was all free.
All for free.
Absolutely free. Yeah, absolutely
But
free.
when
So
you
it
go
was
to a
state.
doctorate, do you get paid for that? Like you have a job? Or back then was not like that?
I got a job at this institute after the graduation because I was one of the best students. So they wanted me to work there. And in this work, this was some research that I used these results for my master and my PhD that were defended at the Belgrade University, you know. After I defended my PhD, I went to Italy, to France, and Brazil.
No, because in Brazil, I know there are some public universities, but most of them are paid. So you're saying that in Serbia, everything is public, everything's for free?
No, it was at that time, it was every university was the state university for free. Now there are state university and there are private universities
All right,
also
okay.
that are paid.
Mhm.
Also, there are some, for example, in this exam to enter the university, you know, you compete with other students. And for example, if this faculty receives 100 students, first 50 are not
Mhm.
paying, but the other 50 are paying
Yes.
for
So the
education.
best students, they have free
The
access.
best students,
Okay.
for best students is free, and for not that best students, they need to pay. And
All
in
right.
the private universities, everybody pays.
Yes. Are they better than the public?
No, they are worse.
Yeah, same as in Brazil, right? Okay.
There are some
thank you.
exceptions in Brazil, but usually it is the case. Yeah.
Okay. Heider, do you have a question?
Yeah. So, Milan, I'm
Hello.
Heider. I talk from Brazil, Rio de Janeiro.
Carioca. He knows
Yeah.
cariocas,
Yeah. So, Milan, could you talk a little bit the tourists to Serbia?
Sorry, I didn't understand.
Tourism. How is tourism in Serbia?
Tourism.
Yeah.
Okay. First of all, Serbia is continental country. We don't have sea, you know. And we have some kind of tourism, but cannot be compared with tourism in Croatia, for example, that have all Adriatic coast, or Montenegro. Here, tourists went to see some mountains, lakes, Belgrade, that is famous for food and for restaurants, for parties, night parties, nightlife. And there are, of course, tourism of like my tourism, you know. There are a lot of people that are working outside of Serbia, and then they are from time to time come to Serbia to visit family and spend money there, like I do, you know.
Are you in Belgrade at the moment, or are you visiting your parents?
No, I am in Zrenjanin at the moment.
Oh, yeah. Mhm.
I went first to some conference in Montenegro, 7 days at the end of August. Then I went 1 week spent at this Institute of Nuclear Sciences, where I collaborate scientifically with some people. And then I was on vacation. I'm now in vacation. And now I am in my mother's house in Zrenjanin, but I'm visiting often Belgrade. I have rented a car, so it is just 1 hour for Belgrade, for Novi Sad. So I visited family and friends, enjoying food that I cannot eat in Brazil.
Oh, that was one of my questions. What do you miss the most? When you go home, you say, this I must eat. I miss it so much.
Sarma.
Okay, just wait a second. Adenilson, can you please turn on share the screen, please? Let's try to get this image. I have no idea what you just said, but I'm curious.
It is, wrapped cabbage leaves, but the cabbage need to be sour, those like sauerkraut in German.
What is the name in Milan?
So
Can you please spell it?
SARMA. Food, sarma food.
Oh, yes, they have also in Turkey.
Yeah, so
Oh my
this is,
gosh,
you know,
I love
wrapped
it.
sour leaves, stuffed with some minced meat, rice, and some, you know, pepper, or I don't know, spices. And this is gorgeous, really. I cannot make this food in Brazil. I tried to make this cabbage sour, but its temperature is too high. I could not do it. It needs really more moderate temperature, because here people do these things during the winter.
I'm
So
sure
this
your
is
mother's is they're the best. Your mother's, the way she makes it, or you
yeah,
prefer to go to a
she
restaurant?
always makes me, yes, this kind of food. But there are other foods that are wonderful. I think I was traveling a lot, not that lot like Simone,
Oh, come
but
on.
maybe, you know, I'm biased, but I think that here in Serbia is the best food that I ate.
You're definitely biased.
And my wife that is Brazilian and likes to eat, and she was traveling much more than I. She also claimed that she ate the best food in Serbia. Brazilian food is more healthy, you know, less processed. But here, food is really wonderful, really. It's
What's your
dangerous
favorite
to
Brazilian foods then?
Brazilian food. Okay, meat. This how to say the boy.
Boy.
I cannot find the expression for boy in English. Boy.
Boy.
You say
boy.
you say the animal.
Steer.
Yeah,
Steer.
animal.
Is
Yeah,
that-
meat. The meat.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
thought you said boy.
Meaty.
Boy, steer. Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Okay, this kind of meat is expensive here because
But do you eat that in Aracaju? Because I don't think we eat that in São Paulo.
yeah, I eat
Renato, do
this
we eat steer in Santos? Is steer meat?
deer. No, it is not deer.
It's
It's
steer.
beef,
Steer.
Mila, beef.
Okay.
Beef.
Adenilson,
Beef.
share the map.
Yes.
We're gonna go to Aracaju now because I'm
So I
curious.
like beef, and I eat in Aracaju a lot of fish and shrimps and these products from sea, you know, because it is on the Atlantic coast, and it is there are a lot of these things. And of course, there are some meat, some kind of meal that I ate in Brazil that is completely different from anything that I tried. And this is acarajé. Acarajé is some
Acarajé. Let me share
is a
acarajé.
meal that originate from Africa.
Yeah, you
and
can
this
find
is
more in Bahia.
yeah, more in
Bahia
but Sergipe is next to Bahia. It was historically it was a part of Bahia, and then separated. I don't know when, and I don't know why, but it is very, very, very near. Yeah. Oh yeah,
This is so healthy, Milan. Not so healthy.
No,
it's
but
fried
it is
in palm oil.
It is a strong, very strong, and very interesting taste. Is completely different from anything that I ate, you know.
That looks nice.
Spicy.
I thought that was from Bahia, that food. I didn't know it was also in Aracaju, actually. And
Aracaju is near.
Really...
It's very near to Bahia. It's Bahia from Aracaju is maybe 70, 80 kilometers to Bahia.
Adenil, so you had a question about Aracaju, didn't you?
Oh, I would like to share the map here again. Let me share. Okay, Aracaju is close to Bahia. Bahia is in the north.
South. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Of Salvador.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's see the border here. I don't think there is way to see the border. Yeah, it's really how let me see how is
350 kilometers to Salvador.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And tell us a little bit about the tourist point in Aracaju.
Well, there are several. I think beaches are the best, the most wanted for tourists. You know, beaches are for sand. They are very large, always with some restaurants near. You know,
Yeah,
to
the
eat some
nightlife.
shrimps, to some fish, and there's usually beaches.
Milan, and how about the fruit? Caju, that is cashew. There are a lot of them
Caju.
there, but this is why the name Aracaju, because there are a lot of caju, this fruit, cashew.
Yes, name Aracaju originates from araras and caju.
Oh,
Aracaju.
the bird.
Really?
It is like,
plus
it is not a parrot, but it is similar to parrot. It's big one and with the different colors. They're,
a macaw.
but there are no araras now in Aracaju, not free, you know. But there are caju. Caju exists in large quantities. And when I go to Serbia, I always bring with me this, I would say, these seeds of caju.
The nuts.
The nuts, yes,
Yeah.
of caju. But I decide not to bring any more because it can be bought here now, you know. And they call it Indian nuts, but this is really not from caju. And can
This is
be
the ones
bought
that
in
grows
these
outside,
supermarkets.
outside the fruit, right?
Outside of food, this fruit is, I don't know, it's a strange fruit. It is basic fruits, you know.
Yeah, but I mean the nut grows outside, right? You have the fruit and the nut is outside.
Not
Like-
no, it's inside. It's
It's
inside.
inside. Okay, so it's not the same
Yeah,
thing. Okay,
yeah.
perfect.
Let me
But there's
share
some
it.
kind of preparation of these seeds, these nuts, and they are very, very good, really.
This is
They're
the
very good.
arara from Ara. Arara. We call
Yeah.
macaw, I think, in English, macaw. But blue macaw, red macaw. Philippe, do you know cashew?
I'm asking if it's the same thing because the one I used to that one, yeah, that
Yeah,
one.
this one.
Oh,
The nut
but
is
you were
outside.
right. You were right. It is okay. I was confused, really.
The
It
seed is
outside. Outside, yeah.
And this is
All
the
right.
fruit.
Sorry, guys. Richard, do you have that in South Africa as well? I don't think so.
No, definitely not. No, definitely not.
Yeah.
I actually wanted to ask Milan, what is his traditional Serbian drink? Like Hungary has palinka. Do they make a home brew like the rest of Eastern Europe?
Yeah, okay. I like this question. Thank you very much. Because we make these hot drinks, beverage from fruits, different fruits. The most famous is from plum. It's called šljivovica. But also from grape, from apple, from pear, apricot, and this
What
is
is that?
called rakia in Serbian. And the rakia is a very important part of social life. Everybody drinks rakia in various opportunities.
Thanks, Milan. I couldn't get the name. I couldn't remember the name. So I tasted it
Rakia.
before, and it's amazing stuff.
Rakia with
Yeah.
R Milan. R-A.
K
Yeah.
I
I-A.
J
J.
A. Rakia.
Mm.
Okay.
This is made of
And,
plum? Made of plums?
Not all. There are these, you know, this is from plum, but there are different kinds of fruit that the rakia is made, you know, and in my opinion, we are superior in comparison to Brazil in
Oh,
this.
come on.
Because in Brazil, you know, cachaça is made
not biased to
just
Serbia.
from
He's not
sugar
biased.
cane always, just from sugar cane. And here there are different kind of fruits, and you have different kind of drinks, you know. And when I go back to Brazil, I always bring with me several liters of this rakia. And my
And not
neighbors
for
and my friends
yourself,
from
right?
Brazil,
To give to your Brazilian friends.
yeah, I offer always, but I think they do not like it.
And then
It
you
is,
keep it
I'm
for
going to
yourself.
it
I'm
is
going to
strong for
forward you
them.
my address in South Africa. I'm going to forward you my address.
Yeah. So I offer them, they try, they say, oh, it's okay, it's nice, but this is it. I think maybe it is too strong because our rakia is about 45 degrees or
Oh,
something.
But
Whiskey
cachaça
is
could be 45
42,
too,
for
right?
example.
No, but it's important. I think, Milan, it's important to also mention because I mean, I lived in Hungary for a while and I tasted. I tell you, I just couldn't remember the name. But even though it's made and it's got 45%, it doesn't give you a hangover because it's pure. It's not. There's no additives. It's made.
It depends
Yeah.
on how it is made, because
Yes. Yeah.
if you do not add sugar, you have really natural drink. It is very nice, but it is expensive. A lot of people add the sugar, and from this kind of drinks you can have headache, you know. But depends. I usually some friends that made, usually here in Serbia, a lot of people made their own rakia, you know, just in the house, you know. And some of them make very good rakia because they made for themselves, so they do not add sugar, and it is usually excellent rakia. And I have friend that give me, and I buy from him this kind of things.
All
Did
right.
you enjoy the
Sorry, guys.
caipirinha?
Jenna and Cavallo, would you like to ask a question because we are
Yeah,
running
I have
out
a
of
question.
time?
Yeah,
Okay,
I
Jenna,
was-
please go ahead.
Because all the other people already asked the questions I wanted to ask, so that's why, like, okay, I have to find a new question. But I understand your second wife is from Brazil. Is
Yeah.
that correct?
Yeah, yes.
Okay. My question is, because you was raised in Serbia, she was raised in Brazil, there are traditional differences. Are there traditional differences that cause conflict in the relationship? Because I was married to a Moroccan girl, and if I came home like whistling, and was like, she freaked out because her tradition, it was like, if you whistle in the house, you drive out the good spirits, and she was always angry when I do it. So are there some different culture shocks you have between you and your wife that cause conflict sometimes, because without you knowing that it causes a conflict, because for you it's totally normal?
Well, conflicts in each marriages exist. It's normal, but I wouldn't say that we have so much differences. We are in the same field. We are physicists, university professors. Sometimes we are working together on some project. We have sometimes common students. No, I didn't see much cultural differences. Maybe because we are working in the same field. If I'm married with some, for example, I don't know, English language teacher, or somebody that works in this not exact scientist, but human scientist, maybe there will be, I don't know, maybe be some differences, but we have similar interest in, and we have this son that is our common
That's
interest.
enough for us then.
So it's
because like my relation, we are completely different from raising and culture, and
Uh-huh.
you have to
Yeah.
learn about each other's culture, and sometimes it causes conflicts without you actually knowing a conflict, and it's like, why are you angry, And it's like, I don't
But I
think.
told you at the beginning that Brazilian people are pretty much similar to Serbians.
Because
Open,
I know
communicative.
the French people are very close. That's like the Flemish people, like I am. They are very close in culture, and they don't let anybody in.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, so we're gonna go for the last question, and that is from Osman Cavallo. Please go ahead.
How fast was the time till you got confident to talk in Portuguese? Did you stay in homestay, for example, or were you talking a lot with people, or partying a lot, or drinking a lot sometimes helps?
Well,
What
yeah,
do you think about?
I didn't need the Portuguese at the work, So I was speaking English in my work there in Brazil, and this slowed down my comprehension of Portuguese. But when I start dating with my girlfriend and, going in parties, drinking cachaça, and I was watching the Brazilian novelas to learn Portuguese. So after some time, I found myself speaking Portuguese. And it was this. But it took me maybe 1 year to start speaking Portuguese. Portuguese is very difficult. It's much more difficult than English. The grammatics is very complicated, and
But
need
after
time.
drinking cachaça, you can't speak any language.
Oh yeah, with cachaça, open-minded, and language is universal.
So you see, Renato is talking about from experience. So did Richard and Philippe they were laughing, so we know what it's all about, guys. Unfortunately, we just ran out of time. Time's up. I would like to thank you, Milan, so much for being here with us. You took some time off from your vacation in Serbia with your family and with your friends to be here with us. To the Brazilians, thank you so much. Saturday is going to be another session with the Brazilian from Rio de Janeiro. So I would like Heather to be there as well, so he can check the facts with us. And I'll see you soon, guys. Thank you so much.
Thank you,
Thank you.
guys.
Bye, see you.
Have a great week.
Thank you, Simone. Thank you.